Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm doing the Around the World book tag because I got tagged to do this one. And I got tagged by Travis from Trav's Book, Build and More. It's a great channel. I find his videos always very inspiring and he reads very widely, and he's also right now going through the Dark Tower series by Stephen King. But he also does other stuff than reading, especially building Lego and reviewing them. And he seems to be inspiring other booktubers as well, because I've seen more Lego videos pop up lately. Anyway, this tag is a really clever way to look at your reading from a different angle. Instead of just talking about your favorite books, you're matching books to places, ideas and themes. And it ends up creating this kind of reading map of your taste. But when I was looking through the actual prompts, I realized that they were going to be very difficult for me to answer, because I'm not really a varied reader. But it also made me want to do it even more as kind of a challenge. So anyway, we're basically going on a world tour through books today. So let's get started. And the first prompt is the UK and Ireland, which is known for history, culture, arts and literature. Talk about an older book or classic that you have read and loved. And for this one I picked The War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells. This is one of those books that I think really justifies its reputation as a classic. The premise, Martians invading Earth, is something that's been done so many times since, but this one is the original. And what surprised me the most is how restrained it actually is. It doesn't feel like a big spectacle, it feels grounded, almost observational. Because you're following a narrator who doesn't fully understand what is actually happening. And that confusion translates really well to the reader. And there's this constant tension, this sense that things are just getting worse and worse, and no one really has control over it. And I think what makes it stand out even more is that it's not a heroic story. There's no grand solution coming from the main character. It's much more about survival and perspective. And also, for something written in the late 1800s, it's incredibly readable. The prose is clear, the pacing is tight, and it never feels like a chore to get through. It's one of those books where you can clearly see the foundation of modern science fiction. And the second prompt is Australia. A beautiful country with wildlife found nowhere else on Earth. Talk about a book that has an original and unique premise. And for this one I went with The Lave of Heaven by Ursula K. Le Guin. And this is one of the most concept-driven books I've read, but in a good way. The central idea is that the main character has something called affective dreams, meaning when he dreams, reality changes to match those dreams. And the really interesting part is that he doesn't want that power. He's actually terrified of it, because every attempt to fix something just creates a different problem. And what I really admire about this book is how controlled it is. It doesn't spiral into something overly complicated. It stays focused on that core idea and explores it from multiple angles. It's philosophical but still very readable. It raises questions about control, intention and whether improving the world is even possible without unintended consequences. And it's one of those books that lingers in your mind after you finish it, because you keep thinking about all the what if scenarios. Third prompt is New Zealand, a land of breathtaking beauty. Talk about a book where the setting is so stunning that you want to live there. Now we read a lot of fantasy, and you would think that within these books are some great places to live. But I've realized that in many it's very dangerous and a struggle to survive. So I picked something a little different. Because for this one I chose Speaker for the Dead by Orson Scott Card. Now there's a bit of a different interpretation of a beautiful setting, because it's not beautiful in a traditional sense, but it's incredibly immersive and fully realized. The planet Lusitania feels like a real place. The ecosystem, the social structures, the alien species, it all fits together in a way that makes it feel believable. And what I really like is that the setting isn't just there for the atmosphere. It's central to the story and the themes. It influences how the characters think, how they act, and how the conflicts develop. It's one of those books where you don't just remember the plot, you remember the world. And even though it's strange and sometimes unsettling, it's definitely a place you want to explore more. And the fourth prompt is France. Talk about a book that you enjoyed, where the love story is either central to the plot or just present in the story. And here I picked Shards of Honor by Lewis McMaster Biold. I think this is a really good example of a romance that works without overpowering the story. The relationship develops naturally based on the situations the characters are in. It's not rushed and it's not overly dramatic, and because of that it feels believable. And what I also like is that both characters feel fully developed on their own. The romance doesn't define them, it adds just another layer, and their interactions are probably the strongest part of the book, and they carry a lot of the emotional weight. And even if you're not someone who reads a lot of romance, like me, this is one that's easy to get into because it's so well integrated into the larger story. Prompt 5. Germany, the Octoberfest, the world's largest beer festival. Name and talk about a book where wild celebrations and crazy parties are part of the storyline. And for this one I picked Storm of Swords by George R.R. Martin. And yeah, this is probably the easiest pick on this list, because when this book does celebrations, it really does them. And what makes these moments so effective is the contrast. Everything feels normal, even festive, and then suddenly isn't. And the shift is so abrupt that it completely changes the tone of the story. It's shocking, it's brutal, and it's one of those moments that sticks with you long after you've read it. It also reinforces one of the core ideas of the series. No one is safe, and things can go wrong very quickly. And the sixth prompt is Mexico, tourists and beaches. Name a book set on the coast or an island. And with this one I went with The Drawing of the Free by Stephen King. Because a big part of this book takes place on a beach. And it's such a simple setting, but I think it works really well. There's something about the openness of it. You've got the ocean, the horizon, and not much else. And that creates this feeling of exposure, like there's nowhere to hide. And then you combine that with the strange and sometimes surreal elements of the story, and it can become really tense. And it's also the book where the larger series, The Dark Tower, really starts to open up, introducing new characters and expanding the scope. So it's not just a good setting, it's also a very important turning point in the series. And for number 7 is Italy. Talk about a book where food and a drink is central to the plot. And this one had to be Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by Roald Dahl. This is probably the easiest association with food you can make, because the entire book revolves around it. And what makes it so memorable is how imaginative everything is. It's not just chocolate, it's exaggerated, creative, and sometimes completely ridiculous. You got the chocolate river, the inventions, the different rooms, it's all very visual. And I think that's why it sticks with so many people. You can picture everything very clearly. And it's also one of those books that works for all ages. It's fun and accessible, but there's also a bit more going on underneath if you look for it. And number 8 is Austria, the Alpine Landscapes. Talk about a book where a sport or contest is the central focus of the story. And for this one I picked Ender's Game, also by Orson Scott Card. This one is all about competition and pressure. The entire structure of the story is built around training and games, constantly testing the characters and pushing them further. And what makes it so engaging is how serious it all feels. At first it seems like a game, but as the story progresses, you realize it's much more than that. The stakes keep increasing, and the psychological aspect becomes more important. It's not just about winning anymore, it's about what that process does to the character. And number 9 is South Africa, the Rainbow Nation. Talk about a book from a diverse author. This was a difficult pick for me, but I did pick The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. And what stands out most here is the world building. It draws heavily from Middle Eastern history, which already makes it feel distinct from a lot of other fantasy. And that influence is present in everything. The setting, the politics, the characters. It does feel layered and detailed. And it gives the story a very different atmosphere compared to more traditional fantasy settings. And I think that's always refreshing, to read something that expands the genre a bit. And the last prompt is the bonus prompt: where do you live? Choose and talk about a book that reflects the culture, history, or anything else of your home. So I'm from the northern part of the Netherlands, where we have our own language, Frisian. Now I have to admit, I haven't read many Frisian stories. So for this one I picked one that I want to read soon. Because I picked De Fouke by Renk van der Velde. It's also been translated in English, where it's called The Trap. And this one takes place during the German occupation of the Netherlands during the Second World War. And it's about a fisherman who is part of the resistance and he's hiding Jews from the Nazis. So it seems like an interesting read, especially because during early May we always remember the fallen of the war and celebrate our freedom. So I think that seems like a good time for me to actually read it. So yeah, that was my Around the World book tag. It was a really fun one to put together, and it actually gave me a new appreciation for how varied my reading actually has been. And if you've read any of these books, let me know what you thought, and feel free to do this tag as well. Maybe you'll think it's an easy one, so prove it. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next video.